Hello and welcome back to the Second Chance to Live channel here on YouTube. I'm happy to see that you decided to stop by to visit with me. Thank you. In today's video presentation, I'm going to be sharing a two-part article that I wrote several days ago. I'm going to include both parts of the article within this video presentation for sake of the continuity and flow of the article. As you listen to this article being read and questions come to mind, please send those questions to me. In the event that you'd like to leave a comment, I would love to hear from you. You may do so through the comment section here on YouTube or through my contact information page on Second Chance to Live. I'll include links to part 1 and part 2 of the article in the description portion if you would like to read it, in addition to listening to it. To read the article, I'll put on my glasses and bring the article back up. I want to thank you for your time. You're always welcome both here on Second Chance to Live, the YouTube channel, and on Second Chance to Live, my website at secondchancetolive.org. Here's the article. Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, A Change of Perspective Empowerment, Part 1. Hello and welcome back to Second Chance to Live. I'm happy to see that you decided to stop by to visit with me, my friend. You're always welcome around my table. Merry Christmas and Happy New Year to both you and your family. Several years ago, I wrote the below article. During this time of the year, we may hear and may be singing various carols. These Christmas carols or songs have become synonymous with this time of the year. One of these carols or songs is Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. As a youth, I heard this carol or song sung with the thought that this is a happy song. As I grew older, the words of the song took on a different meaning. Let me share with you what I have discovered, my friend. As the song begins, we are drawn to the names of Santa's reindeer: Dancer, Prancer, Vixen, Comet, Cupid, Donner, Blitzen, and Rudolph. As the song continues, special attention is drawn to Rudolph. The song tells us that Rudolph had a bright red, shiny nose that some even said glowed. We are given the impression that Rudolph's nose distinguished Rudolph from the other reindeer: Dasher, Dancer, Prancer, Vixen, Comet, Cupid, Donner, and Blitzen. With the next several lines of the carol or song, we hear that Rudolph is laughed at, called names, and not allowed to join in reindeer games. Although the reason or reasons why Rudolph is shunned, laughed at, and called names is not made clear, what is made clear is that Rudolph's bright shiny nose made him different from the other reindeer. Although Rudolph is merely a fictional character in a Christmas song, his plight can easily be identified with by individuals who have experienced similar rejection and ridicule because they are different from the other members of the herd. As I listened to the song with my new understanding, I found that I could identify with Rudolph's experience within the herd. Although I attempted to go along to get along for many years to find my place and position in the herd, I continued to experience feelings of alienation and isolation for being different. As we continue to listen to the lyrics of the song, we hear, "Then one foggy night, Christmas night, Santa came to say." In this part of the song, we hear that Santa recognized the value of what made Rudolph different and uniquely qualified to fulfill a unique need to empower the herd and Santa's mission. Upon reflection, I can only imagine what Rudolph and the other reindeer thought when Santa asked or said to Rudolph, "Won't you guide my sleigh tonight?" What the herd had laughed at and ridiculed and scorned, Santa saw as essential to accomplishing the mission before him, to guide his sleigh. Rudolph's gift made him different. What made him different empowered him to fulfill what none of the other reindeer could hope to do. What made Rudolph different equipped him to be of maximum service to Santa, to his fellow reindeer, and as the song infers, to many boys and girls. And I'll read part 2 of the article now. In my experience, because I bought into the notion that I deserved to be ostracized, ridiculed, and rejected because of what made me different, I criticized and berated myself for being different. Consequently, I had a difficult time celebrating the possibilities surrounding what made me different. Subsequently, instead of feeling connected with a sense of belonging and inclusion, I experienced feelings of alienation and isolation. Instead of using my time and energy to explore how I could use what made me different, I sought to gain the approval and validation of the herd. I continued to feel alienated and isolated from the herd and from myself until I experienced a spiritual awakening. The spiritual awakening revealed to me that I could no longer afford to be distracted by what the herd could not understand or accept. My spiritual awakening revealed to me that I no longer had to wait for the herd to recognize, accept, or approve of the value of what made me different. My spiritual awakening revealed to me that I needed to begin to use what made me different despite the herd's continued ridicule and exclusion. My spiritual awakening revealed to me that a loving God wanted to use what made me different to be a blessing to the herd as well as to the individuals ostracized by the herd, just as Santa used what made Rudolph different to bless the herd, the mission, and to many other individuals outside the herd. In your experience, you may have found that, as Rudolph and I have discovered, that there is something that makes you different. You may be a traumatic brain injury survivor, an individual living with a disability, or you may have experienced some other kind of trauma, abuse, or adversity. Consequently, you may find yourself feeling ridiculed, ostracized, and excluded by the herd. In the process, you may have a difficult time accepting yourself for being who you are as an individual. As I've shared in this article, I can identify with you, but that is not the end of the story. The end of the story is that a loving God is going to use what makes us different, as Santa used Rudolph. What makes you and I different is essential. What makes you and I different is essential to God fulfilling a unique mission through us. What makes you and I different will be used to draw the herd to fulfill its purpose. What makes you and I different will be used as a beacon of hope to draw our brothers and sisters from the shadows of isolation, feelings of alienation. What makes you and I different will make us leaders. What makes you and I different will help dreams live in people. What makes you and I different will empower people to move beyond the shores of their fear and apprehension. What makes you and I different will give people courage. What makes you and I different will bring about the change that we want to see in our world. I like quotes. Here are several of those quotes. First they ignore you, then they laugh at you, then they fight you, then you win. And that's by Mahatma Gandhi. The next quote is, be the change you want to see in the world. And that's also by Mahatma Gandhi. Do not wait for leaders. Do it alone, person to person. And that's by Mother Teresa. You don't have to be a person of influence to be influential. In fact, the most influential people in my life are probably not even aware of the things they've taught me. That's by Scott Adams, an American cartoonist. Next quote is, insist on yourself. Never imitate. Your own gift you can present every moment with the cumulative force of a whole life's cultivation. But of the adopted talent of another, you have only an extemporaneous half possession. Do that which is assigned to you, and you cannot hope too much or dare too much. And that's by Ralph Waldo Emerson. And the last quote is, if you advance confidently in the direction of your dreams and endeavor to live the life that you have imagined, you will meet with a success unexpected in common hours. And that's by Henry David Thoreau. I want to thank you again for your time. This is the end of the two-part article. I want to encourage you as I need to encourage myself. Please do not give up on yourself. a loving God of your process, because more will be revealed in time. The pieces of the puzzle will come together at the right time in the correct order, and you will find and fulfill the dreams that you have for your life. So keep trusting that you're going to be led by trusting that a loving God will guide you, as I'm learning to trust that a loving God is guiding me. I'll say so long for now. Have a great day, and God bless both you and your family. And again, Merry Christmas to both of you, to all of you. So long now.